Hey folks, it's Marvin Cash, the host of the Articulate Fly, and we're back with another Tip of the Mitt fishing report with Brian Kosminski of True North Trout. How you doing, Brian?
It is another gorgeous, beautiful day in northern Michigan right now.
Yeah, I saw that. I mean, it's interesting. We're getting ready to probably hit one of our first 100-degree days here in the mid-Atlantic southeast, and I looked at your weather and I was like, wow, highs in the low 80s, upper 70s, down in the 50s at night. The fishing must be outstanding right now.
It is hit or miss. Last weekend, we got about 2 inches of rain in the 72 corridor. So a lot of our rivers went up 12 to 14 inches. That definitely gave the fish a lot of food, but also moved stuff around. So we're heading out tonight we're going to do some hopper fishing and some streamer fishing. Your options are kind of get out in the morning and do the trico dance, or wait till the evening. And I think if we get a few more hot days like 85 today and the rest of the week, we're going to turn into the hoot owl restrictions, fish either at night or early in the morning.
Got it. And is that official hoot owl or unofficial hoot owl?
Unofficial here because, I think when they make that denotation out west, it's pretty much the whole state. But in Michigan, we've got enough groundwater feed that the Jordan River, for example, is always going to be under 60 degrees. It doesn't matter if it's 90 degrees during the day. It's going to be cold. But there's stretches of the Manistee and the Asable that get exposed to a lot of solar radiation, and there's a couple dams that slow them up so they get warm,
Got it. So if you're fishing in the evening, I get the hopper game. Is the streamer a mouse game, or is it kind of a more traditional Michigan streamer on structure game?
Streamer on structure, definitely. Mousing, sometimes we like to slap it loud and proud in the middle of the river and watch the fish, because they're usually hunting in shallow ground. We call it the sandlots. They like to go hunt and play in the open field. But we also do the large Terra Narcissus, the double Chernobyl, fat Chernobyl down the middle of the river and skate that puppy and see if somebody follows on that as well.
Got it. So you've got some stoneflies then.
We do. They're not as prolific as they are out west, but we definitely have them. And who's to say even mousing is mousing? It could be frogging. I think the fish are just looking for a large meal, and maybe the same thing is true when you're skating a big stonefly or a Terra, whatever chubby Chernobyl. They just think that that's something to eat in the middle of the night, so they eat it.
Yeah, and I was going to ask you too. What's your favorite hopper pattern?
Oh, I think I've said Amy's Aunt before. That is a great go-to. Charlie Boy hopper. Charlie Craven's been knocking out some great patterns. And so has Andrew Grillos, who, is coming back off of his heart attack incident last year. He does the hippie stomper. He does the user-friendly, a couple other crossover foamulator type flies that they work great, especially during the day on very finicky brook trout.
Got it. And do you like to sink them sometimes?
That's coming up in a couple of weeks. I think once we get into August and we start hitting the end of August into September, I like doing the sunken ant. But, there's nothing better than a whole bunch of fish feeding. And you think they're on blue wing olives or they're on something, and it turns out they're on ants. And you got to go to 6 or 7X and play the game they want to be played.
Yeah, there you go. We've got a question for you too. Instagram handle is The Real Nader Salad. And
no kidding.
Yeah, I looked, and we don't even have a real name on the profile, so we'll see. But the question is, The Real Nader Salad, could be a he or a she, I think it's a he, wants to know the earliest that you've caught a fish on a Hendrickson.
You know what? I think it was this year, this spring, April 12th or 13th. We were fishing with Dave Karazinski from Midcurrent, and he's written a couple other books from Lure to Fly. And we had a really good Hendrickson emergence on the upper Manistee, and he tagged into a couple of nice 17, 18-inch fish. And it's, the first dry fly fish of the season, we always set the hook way too early, or we completely miss the fish altogether, right? But Dave pulled it together, and he got into a couple of nice fish early this season.
Yeah, well, there you go. And, folks, we love questions at the Articulate Fly. You can email them to us or shoot them to us on our Facebook or Instagram page. And if we use your question, I'll send you some Articulate Fly swag, and then we're going to enter you into a drawing for something cool from Kaz at the end of the season. And before I let you hop, I know you're fishing tonight, so you're probably, I don't know, probably 2 hours away from making the coffee. But first of all, want to give a shout out to our friends at Norvise who have generously sponsored this fishing report. And folks, you owe it to yourself to head on over to www.nor-vice.com and check out all of their great products. Probably the newest thing on the list are their shank jaws. It's their newest jaw, probably their most versatile jaw. And I know it's summertime and you may not quite be thinking about tying, but it's always time to, crank out a few special flies for that day on the water. And it's never too early to get ready for the wintertime because, supply of tying materials and fly fishing stuff is still tight.
I will never leave without tying up a few extra deceivers, that fly in yellow and white or chartreuse always catches fish.
Yeah, there you go. And before I let you hop, why don't you let folks know where they can find you, Brian, so they can book in fish with you?
Please do your best to find me on social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and www.truenorthtrout.com. Thank you very much, Marvin. Have a great week.
Absolutely. You too, folks. Get out there and catch a few. Tight lines, everybody. Tight lines, Kaz.
Thank you. You too.